loves, and welcome back to Blissful Joy. If you're new around here, my name is Charlie, and on this channel my purpose is to accelerate your conscious expansion. We talk about all things the law of attraction, consciousness, a little bit of lifestyle, and so much more. The story starts back in 2018. At this time in my life, I'd been single for a few months and I was feeling very happy with that. I was doing self-love, I was taking care of myself, doing things that I was passionate about, and eventually I got Tinder and I started to date, even though I'd never dated before in the modern terms online. It was a very uncomfortable experience. I met a lot of interesting people and then I got into this friends with benefits relationship kind of thing. And I remember this one day I went to visit my auntie, who identifies as a white witch, which is essentially a light worker. That is just another word for a light worker, light witch, white magic, all of that stuff. She doesn't specialize in love spells. She always saw that as a bad thing that comes with karma. So of course we didn't do a love spell. But she took me into her witchy spiritual room that was such a happy place, filled with a lot of magical objects and crystals, sage, all that amazing stuff that I love. And I asked her if she would channel my energy and use her crystal ball to essentially give me a reading. I wanted a love reading more than anything. And what she told me was shocking when it ended up to be true. When she started to read my energy, she told me that I was in the beginning stages of the butterfly. After the cocoon, I've just got out of the cocoon, I'm learning things about myself, I'm learning things about life, I'm essentially awake. And I found that during this whole year, when I first awoken, butterflies, and to this day, have always been attracted to me. They always fly around me, they always land on my shoulder, they land on my arms. I feel like a genuine Disney princess when that happens, so I'm all good with that. That's always been a dream of mine. But this is where it gets interesting. She told me that that year I was going to meet the love of my life. This person would be it for me. That they're right around the corner, and if I would just let go of this toxic ex-boyfriend that I was holding on to, then I would be making the space to allow him to come in. She told me that this person would bring out the deepest parts of me. That this person is the one that would change everything. So I was just like, okay, yeah, cool. Whatever, you know. I was in a space where I was ready to let go of this person. And so that night, I got out my scripting book and I wrote a long list of things that I would want in an ideal partner. On my list, I had things such as brown eyes, brown hair, 6 foot and over. There was also a little statement I wrote of, listen, I don't want anyone that has the name beginning with R, T, A or B or J. I said I'd like a H or I'd like a D. Any other letter. I don't know why that mattered to me, but I put it down. I wrote things like, I want someone who is emotionally and physically available. I want someone who prioritizes me. I want someone who sees me as their world. I want someone that's attracted to me. All these things. If I can find a picture of parts of the list, because I know I didn't take pictures of all of it, then I will put it within this video. But if not, take my word for it. I also put fun things on there, such as red car and the license plate to have the number 11 in it. So, a month later, because I was proper detached to this and I had fun with the list and I just put it away, a month later I made a status on Facebook asking for people to, you know, asking for friends, basically. How sad. And this guy commented, and I'd recognized him from somewhere, and something in my head told me to just message him. He was the only one that commented on that status that I messaged. We had a conversation and he asked me like about relationships and such, and I told him the next person I date, I'm marrying and I'm serious about this. And he was like, yeah, me too. So we started talking for a while and then we met up and there was a connection straight away. I felt very comfortable with this person. It was like I'd known him for ages, even though I just met him and we spent like one night together. We then started to hang out every single Friday and eventually we made it official. We got together and this was the best relationship I've ever been in. You know, he was so good to me. He was just everything I'd asked for on my list. He said all the right things and he did all the right things, and he always made sure that I felt loved. He always made sure I felt loved. He always made sure I felt safe. You know, we were completely compatible in every way. Eventually, my bad thoughts started kicking in. I was constantly thinking, this is too good to be true. He's gonna leave, he's gonna leave, he's gonna leave. I got into a deep state of mental health, anxiety, feeling depressed with my own thoughts. But now I know that it's the feeling that generates the thoughts. I was feeling grief from within, which is why this union ended. This person has always brought out, this person's always triggered and brought out this state of being. He always knows just what to say to bring these emotions to the surface. He always knows just what to do to make me aware of how I'm feeling on the inside. Of course it ended. It did. The union obviously had to separate because of how I was feeling on the inside. And we've been best friends ever since. You know, this guy is my best friend. Things did get a little bit sour in recent months because of my state of being, because I am healing. But I still have so much love for him in my heart, and I always will. And at this point, you know, I don't care whether we get back together, we come into union or not, I just know that I did have an amazing love with him and we're connected energetically. He's my twin flame. So, vulnerable video, feels very personal. If you guys can relate to this or you want to discuss twin flames with me, then I'd be more than happy to do that. I just want to wish you all the happiest of healing, send you all my love, and I'll see you in the next video.